Hey everyone, Sion here. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. And so, by popular demand, we're doing part 2 of the marriage series, and we're going to jump right into it. The question: should we be asking for signs? Does God really give people signs to know the one, to know who it is? We're going to check in the Bible. Last time we talked about the story of Rebecca and Isaac, and there was so much to unpack in that verse. You can see in that story that Abraham sent his servant to find a wife for Isaac. First of all, many can ask, why did Isaac not go himself to find a wife? It was because Abraham told the servant that he should not bring Isaac to that land where the servant found Rebecca. Okay, so now the servant was hesitant, and if you read the story, he wasn't sure how he was going to find that person in that land. So he asked God for some signs. Now, remember that Abraham is the father of faith, and Abraham had his back history with God and faith and all of that. So the servant also knows God's track record. The servant knows how to deal with God. So he has a relationship with God as well. And before he left, he asked God to make his travel successful. And he told God that he was going to see a certain number of signs in the person that God has chosen for Isaac. These are the signs that the servant asked God as indication to be able to determine the right woman for Isaac. The first sign was that Rebecca was responsible and generous. She gave water to the servant and also to the camels. Then she invited the servant in the house. So she went even over and beyond the sign that he requested. He requested 2 signs: that she would give him water and give water to the camels. So she offered him water, she did it, and then she even helped further, which means that not everybody has that generosity in that land or in general. So the servant knew that he was onto something, and God was making his travel prosperous and successful. Then there was also the fact that Rebecca trusted the servant. She was willing to follow him back the very day. She had no doubt. Yes, she was given a few jewels and a few things, a few gifts that the servant brought, but she didn't know where she was going and who she was going to. So she trusted blindly. She fully trusted that person. She didn't know the future. She didn't know the whole picture yet. She didn't know the person fully for 5-10 years yet. She trusted that person the very day. Even her family asked her to stay for a while and then join the servant later, do the travel later, another day. But she said no. She agreed to go back with the servant right away, back to Isaac. One other thing that I noticed was that Rebecca, her description in the Bible was that she was beautiful. She had beauty. But despite her beauty, she was generous, responsible, and willing to serve. These days, sometimes we feel too prideful to serve, to be humble because we're beautiful. Sometimes we're like, oh no, I'm too beautiful for this person. I'm too beautiful for that person. He doesn't look good enough. He's not dressed well enough. We have all those superficial requirements to figure out who is the right person for us. And those are exactly the reasons why we miss the mark. So I'm going to read the verse, and you guys gonna see what I meant by the servant asked for signs. It's in Genesis 24:14, and I'm reading. Let the young woman to whom I shall say, please let down your jar that I may drink, And who shall say, drink, and I will water your camels? Let her be the one whom you have appointed for your servant Isaac. By this I shall know that you have shown steadfast love. That verse indicates that he explicitly asked God for a clear sign. That answers your question about should we be asking God signs, and would God answer signs? Yes, definitely he would. You can ask God signs, but you have to trust in God first. Have faith, believe in him, have a relationship, a deep relationship with God for him to answer you and for you to actually recognize that he's answering. A relationship deep enough that when he answers, you hear, you listen and obey, surrender to his will. A relationship deep enough to determine his voice from the voices around, the voices of the enemy, the voices of society, the voices of family, the voices of imposters, all kinds of voices that are not God's voice. A deep relationship with him will help you know that, yes, I can ask God for these signs, for some signs, specific signs, and he will give them to me. Also, you have to trust God enough that when he shows you the signs, you believe them. That's all I wanted to share. I hope you're blessed, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.